Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Team Fortress TV. We're here with you all night. My name's Ryushi, and joining me tonight is our resident potato, Admirable, and also on the camera is our resident Portuguese. I can't think of a derogatory term for Portuguese person other than Portuguese, so he is there. Wow, words are hard. He is Ducky. So, Admirable, welcome.
I'd say a derogatory term for Portuguese person, tuna fish motherfucker, something like that, you know?
Wow.
That's what I associate Portugal with, tuna fish.
Why?
I don't know, it's one of their biggest exports, I think. Just harking back to my GCSE geography.
well, I mean, it's good that you learned something at school. Yeah, it's good, but we're not here to talk about geography, unfortunately. Thank God for that. I hate geography. We're here to talk about TF2, which is a video game, if you didn't know.
Yeah, we're here to see 12 video gamers slug it out for the relegation match here in ETF2L Season 17, powered by eSports. It's the Premiership, and these are the worst two teams. Sticking my tongue out at them. Blah, blah, blah.
That's a bit harsh. I mean, you know, there were other teams here who didn't even like get any points at all. I'm talking about the other French team, but they have actually just gone live. So if you weren't listening at the beginning, guys, I'm Ryushi. Joining me is Admirable. On the camera is Ducky. We're Team Fortress TV, and this is an ETF2L Season 17 division, Premiership division, last place decider. So whoever gets this is in danger. Whoever loses this is in danger of relegation, and we're going to be coming out strong from Lego as they try and put a lot of damage down. Nothing much happening at the moment. Just some couple of both teams just posturing each other, but a soldier's going to be going in. That's going to be Kalari. He's going to fall, but in fact, both soldiers for Fenix now down as well, because Clar's down as well. So, pretty much F2's boys on Lego, but it's going to be a crits coming out of Sickless. Whoever could have called that one with a Russian demo, I don't know. He gets one player, but it doesn't seem to be working out so well for them right now. Hellberg's just going to be going down at the end, but Zen is still alive, and he's going to help Dr. Phil clean up Sickless.
Oh, F2!
F2! Oh.
He was so weak there, he just was pressured by Sickless, who went forward and put a couple of stickies on him, and they stepped into the kitchen to pick up that little med pack, but GF18 was on the flank there and sent FQ to the spawn queue. To the spawn queue. He didn't even get his charge up. It wasn't a drop, he just didn't make it in time.
Oh, unlucky. I think GF18 actually stayed alive for that entire mid and got, well, 4 of the 6 kills that happened, so GF18 doing a lot of work on that middle right there. We're going to see a bit of an engagement over on this Saw place as the crits once again comes out. Natural's going to be killed by the crits scattergun of Sheepy, and he's also going to pick up Dr. Phil and F2 with the pistol. A little help from GF18, and now the only one left alive is Hellberg on 13 health, is running away as Sniper. He gets a headshot onto Sickless but isn't able to kill him. He ends up with 20 health, and an easy point for Fenix. They lose 1 player.
GF18 has 8 frags so far this round. He's absolutely beast, and he's had back-to-back medic picks onto F2.
9
and
frags.
Ski just managed to survive so far.
9 frags. He's on a streak of 9 apparently.
Oh, 9.
That's
wow.
ridiculous.
Got another one there on Hellberg. Pretty decent. Has he got any effects here? Let me check him out. Has he got like a kill streak scattergun or something? Is he pimped out? Has he got like mad glowing eyes? I'm trying to find him.
Doesn't.
Don't worry, there's a crits coming in. He crits GF18 and his fatal shot onto Phil isn't a crits one, but now we got Sickless here with the crits. He's baiting in a soldier, fires off one sticky, then gets naturally steps in to try and shut him down, but it's actually turning against him. Oh, there's a frag coming to make it a 3-on-3. The health is terrible on the Danish side. 2 players go down quickly at Zen and F2 now. Dr. Phil is trying his best to hold on here for the spawns to come in, but it's a tough one. Phil on the point now, committed to it on 26. He will go down in a soldier. Natural can't get in there in time. He gets a kill on GF18 from beyond the humiliation round.
GF18 got 11 kills that entire round and didn't die until the very, very end. That is good scout play. I'm going to say that that's good scout play. I mean, I know nothing about playing scout, but I'm pretty sure that's good, right?
Yeah, killing everyone and not dying yourself is pretty much the perfect scout game, I guess.
Well, we'll see if he can carry it up on this second middle, because it's going to be Fenix looking to win again, but they're going to lose 2 players really quickly. They get Dr. Phil out of it, though, so there's going to be no demo in for Lego, but here comes the bomb. It's going to be Hellberg getting in and getting a double kill with a little bit of help from Zen as well. So that's everyone down for Fenix there. They completely wiped. They lost F2, Lego lost F2 and Dr. Phil, but, well, Fenix completely wiped, so a much better middle for them there.
Yeah, that's a real shame about F2 down at the end, but Clar did jump in there and equalise things, but it was beautiful just as Phil went down, having done all that damage. Zen and Hellberg straight across the point, got skeeged instantly, and then the heal advantage sort of snowballed there. But right now they're on to CP4. Cyclist has stepped out to follow up on the damage of Sheepy, and he's creating an opening here for GF18, the man of the moment. He's trying to chase after Zen, who's backed off into the saw room, but they have scared off most of those Lego players. They're going to contest the point now, and F2 and co are moving in from the lower lobby area. They're onto the green. They're trying to pump out damage here. They're looking for a target to focus, but a little hop up onto the roof there from Clark shuts down the aggression. And now it's only F2 and Crizzle. Crizzle's on the flank, nowhere near his medic. F2's going to run. Crizzle's trying to buy time here on middle. F2 fires an arrow in his direction from the crossbow, but won't land it. F2 doesn't even make it out. Clark chases him down. This is a car crash here from Lego.
Yeah, just I'm not quite sure what happened there. A little bit of miscommunication. Dr. Phil went so far ahead of them, just got picked off so early without doing any damage. That's not really what you want your demo to be doing in that situation. And now they get 4 forward spawns, so they're going to be able to defend this second point relatively easy, but they have no heals, and they're just going to be relying on Hellberg to get a headshot as they come in, but he's going to miss everything, and now there's going to be damage on him in lobby, and he's going to go down. So, pretty unlucky for them. They're not letting Hellberg snipe. Oh, well, I'm guessing Fenneks probably knew that was going to happen, and they were prepared for it, so that was a good play there.
Uber's been popped in here. Clar's gone down, but meanwhile Hellberg and Crizzle are in the spunky. Hellberg just respawned, so he will be able to help his team out here, but there's so many blue bodies on the point. It's going to be tough for the Danes to block that one, and they don't manage to do it. 4 players are being up there for Fenix as they cap the point. Pretty convincing last push on a point that can be so tough to break.
Yeah, absolutely. So Fenneks coming out 2-0 at the moment. Lego, I've seen him play a lot better than this, so we definitely shouldn't count them out now, even though they've had sort of a pretty lost round and then a heartbreak round there as well. So they might be feeling a little bit demoralised, but we'll see how they're going to do on this third middle of Marble.
I'm watching Dr. Phil's perspective. He's trying to switch attention from demo to scout, but finds himself taking a lot of damage. And most of Lego aren't moving forward here. They're trying to win that high ground battle. You've got Soda and Scout there. Cam's down to 3 HP, goes down as the Scout of GF18 steps forward and follows up on that damage that's been pumped out there by Cyclist and his heavies. And Lego are trying to play a patient game, but Skage and co are just sort of playing that. They're not going fully aggressive, which is what Lego want them to do, to like bomb in and die. They're just edging their way forward, taking the ground that Lego give them and sort of wearing them down across the course of that middle. Like Lego are defensive, but they're almost too defensive. They're literally not doing anything. They're sitting back and waiting for Fenix to make a mistake, and Fenix aren't giving them those easy frags. They're just sort of bullying them out of middles and eventually crushing them. But this time at least FT's in position here, even though he doesn't have Uber, he's in there to give heals to his team in the lobby. But here comes Skage and Clara straight in. Clara gets juggled halfway through that Uber. He's probably not going to be able to chase down here. There's even a Sindri on last Ryushi.
Yeah, it's going to be a good position as well, and I'm pretty sure they caught it. So, Fenneks know where it is, and they're going to be able to spam it down. Actually, Clyde just spamming it from across the point. Zen hopefully going to switch off rather than build another one. Yeah, he's switched back onto that heavy now, so they've got that big damage in with no Uber coming in for Fenneks. This is going to be a pretty dangerous point for them to push, especially as they lose 4, 5 right there. F2, Skeet is going to be the only one up, and he's well out. He's already in Saw, so he's pretty safe right there with his 34%. But it doesn't really matter because F2's got 100. They're going to take the second, and then probably they're going to push straight onto middle. I mean, they should. Even though Lego are a really defensive team, they really need to get aggressive here and use this advantage. And I'm sure they will, because F2 is obviously a fantastic medic and a fantastic main caller.
Oh, Lego are pussies, man. They don't take these small advantages. They probably would have been a risky one to go in there with 4 and just the Uber advantage, but they have waited for the spawns. And now they're going to peek in here and see what exactly is happening on middle. They see a very defensive blue team. Natural's going to call out to his medic that it's pretty much safe. They can try and walk in here, but there is a sniper on the field in the form of GF18. He's hiding in this front spawn. Do you see this, man? He's about to open the door. Will he pop a shot? Can't get anyone with the shot, but he rolled the dice and the gamble didn't pay off that time.
Wow, yeah, both Ubers do get popped STV stats. What is this? I've never seen this before. Ved apparently lost the Uber advantage of 26 seconds. So both Ubers do get popped, and 2 kills got out of it for Lego. So even though they don't push on a lot, they are surely going to push on this.
Yeah, they've got to be happy with 6 chains, like 3 players down for 0. They'll take that one to the bank any day. They're going to continue to push in here. This is a little bit crazy. They just peek, actually. F2 and Phil and Natural peeking from the lower side and seeing there was no easy frags there, so they're going to rotate up to the lobby, make sure to build their Uber and probably just push right on the button here to try and get in and kill Skeege. Let's see who they choose to send in. Could it be Scouts or will it be the Soldier?
I think it'll be a Soldier over the top of Scouts. Hellberg and Zen. Yeah. Look, okay, maybe no Soldier. It's just going to be the 2 Scouts coming in right now. They're going to go straight onto the Skeege and try and find him. But Skeege is well far back. He's already in spawn. He's going to get his Uber. He's 96%. Surely he's going to come out. He does though. He gets killed by Dr. Phil on 99% as he tries to come out of that spawn. But it doesn't matter because everyone is just going to be able to cap. But Crizzle comes in for out of nowhere, gets a double kill, and caps the point. Huge plays by Crizzle. Everyone is dead. Everyone is dead at the end of that round.
It started off good. It was the sort of textbook push in the last that we sort of remember from the days of Infused Greg going in with those 2 Scouts, bullying them back and then getting onto the point. But for a while there it was touch and go, but they did manage to make it work, so credit to Lego for getting onto the scoreboard. But onto this middle, I'm watching Kalari as he jumps into the kitchen, only briefly, and he's stepped back out here. He's trying to distract. Crizzle's gone in and for the Lego room, and he's been unsuccessful. Kalari jumps in eventually and focuses down Phil, and this is just slipping away from Lego pretty quickly. F2 is alive, but he's bringing out the Uber Saw here. He's looking for blood.
Doesn't find it though. That was an interesting play. Crizzle got completely shut down, so they decided that they were going to go aggressive and follow up on all the damage that Crizzle did, which I think was approximately 0. So bit of a questionable middle there from Lego, and obviously they're going to lose the second point out of it. And F2 dying so late as well. It's really not going to be helpful.
Nobody like tracked Kalari. I was watching him the whole way. He jumped into the kitchen and back, but nobody took the responsibility for that, and he actually came out just after that and killed Phil. But here comes an overcharge in from Skeege. It's popped off as F2 only has 20%. Zen is first to die. He's the heavy weapons guy. Instantly focused down there by Fenix, and Dr. Phil is their next target. There's now no stickies to block this point. It's all up to these remaining Lego players, and it looks like the only one who has a hope in hell is F2, and he has no hope in hell actually. He's dead, man.
Yeah, that's an easy third round, just coming off that questionable middle play, like I said. And we'll see what they're going to be able to do here. I mean, GF18 absolutely playing out of his mind. Top of the scoreboard, above his medic by a good 7 points there. That's not something you often see. So maybe they should think about focusing him down on middles. Maybe they should, but it's going to be Sicklers coming out here, going to try and fire off as many early sticks as possible onto Dr. Phil. Doesn't manage to do much damage at the moment. Kalari is in fact the most lit player on the map. He's going to pick up a health pack and be alright. And now just both teams sort of posturing at each other. No one really putting the finishing damage down, except from there it goes Natural, Hellberg and Dr. Phil, all 4, all at once to a good flank from Sheepy and Kalari. And now they're just going to be chasing down the remaining players of F2 and Zen. And I don't know where they are. Is F2 out? I assume he must be. Yeah.
Yeah, he has made it out. I was watching the GF18 perspective on that middle, and he just played up top, playing pretty defensive, waiting to see if he could kill Crizzle, I think. But Crizzle opted not to jump in, having died in the previous middle. It's actually his combo over the first blood, it seemed. But now F2 survived whilst his demo and soldiers went down. He has an Uber charge to hold on to last year. So a potential to turn this round around, but I don't know how it's going to end up, man. 17 minutes, 18 minutes left on the clock. It's still anybody's game, right, Ryushi?
Absolutely. I mean, Snake Water Last is a pretty hard push to a pretty hard last point to push. So, you know, if they get a good situation out of this, maybe the heavy staying alive, or you know, something like that, popping his Uber on the heavy and just getting a triple kill or something like that, they can definitely push out now, and they can definitely regate. Yeah, what
is the read that Fenneks have? They're just standing here. They're either trying to create a plan, they're sitting here discussing, or they're just like jigging around in this ramp. Could be.
Are they just sitting on it, just wasting a bit of time? Or maybe they don't want to push up against the heavy. There's no heavy now though. Zen's just switched off. He's onto the engineer again, and they've just let him build an Uber, a sentry. Sorry.
I'm gonna assume they're having a deep and meaningful conversation here about how to do this push.
Talk about girls.
They wanted to make sure they knew after that sort of questionable push they had previously. They know now, like they've seen a sniper, they can hear a sentry. There's no heavy on the field right now, it seems to have changed back, but... Oh, they're gonna send in Cyclist. That's a strange choice for the bomb, because like...
Where did he even come from?
Whenever he respawns, he can't off-class. That would be impressive if he goes spy or something, to be honest, but...
It would be, but... Well, Lego aren't going to give them the respect of that, and they're just going to push straight out into them. They've taken lobby, and now blue players on sort of a little bit of a low grounded disadvantage here. They try and retake it with Klar going to be able to pick up
this is
Dr.
real
Phil
bad.
as he comes out onto the bar. And now, with that huge Uber advantage, they're just going to follow them straight away to last. And there's surely not going to be anything that they're going to be able to do, because Natural's down as well. That sentry is no longer on the field, because Zen switched off onto Scout for the push. And now it's just a bit of a train wreck now. The Uber comes in. It's going to pick up Krizzle. Anyone else? Yeah, there it goes. Zen's going to be down. And now they're just going to bum rush the point and cap it out. It's going to be 4-1. You know, Lego, I'm a little disappointed in them today. I've seen them play so much better.
I think they put too much weight in the demo man advantage there. Like, they were like, oh yes, demo man's down, we can just go in here full retard. But they needed to play with a bit more subtlety. They just got forced really early before they even knew Skeej's position, and Skeej just had to walk back to hold that overcharge. Like, there wasn't even any pressure on him. And really an own goal there, I feel, from Lego. But onto this middle, I see F2 popping off a crossbow bolt. He's trying to do a little bit extra damage for his team, but nobody's taking the initiative here from Lego. They're just sitting back and they're getting focused down. Naturally, it's a couple of stickies, then gets followed up on by these lethal scouts, the Sheepy and GF18 combo, tearing them apart right there in middle. Sheepy with a 3k.
Well, I'm not quite sure what's going on. You know, I've seen Lego play really, really well with the 4, but they just seem to be really not playing together at all. They just, and now Fenneks not giving them any respect. They're coming in straight onto last. Going to see if they can get anyone else. They do lose Kalari and Sickless as well. And Skeej, he drops both of those players. I don't know if he actually had the Uber in time, but he's just going to use it to get out and might even get chased down by Lego. But they seem pretty hesitant to push. They are now in lobby. They do pick up Sheepy as well, so that's now a pretty easy second point for them to cap out. But they're just playing so slowly and old-fashioned.
Yeah, I've been saying it all season, man. These guys don't play with any confidence. They don't have any swagger. They just sit back and wait for their opponents to make mistakes or wait for like really clear advantages. And in every other situation, they don't look like they're going to win. They always look a little bit shaky, a little bit uncertain. And especially on middles, they don't seem confident at all on this map. I'm just going to lay into them, man. I'm going to burn these guys to the ground. How many times do I have to tell you, Lego, step it up?
Yeah, see, I was really excited to see them in, you know, coming into the beginning of this season, because, you know, good players that I like to watch, you know, return of F2 and all that. But, well, the return of F2 and all, he doesn't seem to have actually picked up any of the current meta. He just seems to play like how old Epsilon used to play before like Knockouts and Knox.
If they want to play this really safe style with a combo, then they have to have an incredibly creative player on the flanks, and Krizzle is not that guy. He's terribly mediocre, like, by the Prem standard. And like, there's so much weight on his shoulders if his combo aren't going to make the big plays, and he's just like, he's struggling, man. Yeah,
the scouts as well. I mean, they're good. I'm not going to say anything else. Zen and Hellberg, I think, are the standout players at the moment. They are really, really good, and Zen as well, really, really good Prem incoming. But I should be talking about the Uber exchange right now on the top right of last point, and it looks like Fenix are going to be in a better position out of it, because they don't really get anyone, but Hellberg's going to be actually the first pick. He's going to be the sniper down, falls to Kalari, and now a lot of frags going down for Fenneks. F2 and Krizzle, the only ones left alive. Zen does spawn, but is he going to be able to be in time? He's surely not going to be able to out the M3 of them, and he doesn't, and that is going to be 5-1. But yeah, as I was saying, Zen and Hellberg, they're playing well, but they're not standout compared to other flank players. They're just really, really good scouts, and Hellberg's a really good sniper. But with Krizzle as well, that's just a bit of a weak flank, I'd say.
Well, Sickless is a guy you can always count on to put out damage, and the Danish scouts don't have that luxury. Dr. Phil, he's not putting out as much damage as Sickless, or maybe the logs will tell me wrong at the end, but it doesn't feel like that in middle, so there's less opportunity for them to really clean up. Hellberg and Krizzle are first to die in this middle. Dr. Phil is going to follow natural as well. F2, it's going to be a wipe as soon as Zen is cleaned up, unless he can pull out some heroics, but Skeev's not even threatened there. Don't think he ever went below 130 health in that middle. And that's a complete wipe there for 0 frags. It looks like Lego have lost all confidence here.
I don't think anyone on Fenix actually took more than 50 damage there. That's that is just dismal. I like Lego as a team, but they're just not proving themselves here at all. They need to stay to win this match to stay in Premiership. Otherwise, they're going to have to play against 425, and well, the way they're playing at the moment, 425 will walk all over them.
That'll be an interesting one. I think they played in Division 1 together last season, like competed against each other, and Lego managed to come out on top there, but with another season under the belt, maybe 425 with some new moves, but this map is already over. And I hate to sound like I keep beating up on Lego, like I am a big Lego fan since the last season, you know, but they haven't made the sort of next step. They haven't any development from winning Div 1 to now.
Yeah, I totally agree that They weren't
It's because I
scrimming too
care so
much.
much, you know.
Yeah.
That's why I'm beating up on them, because I want them to do well and they haven't.
See, I just hate everyone who's better at video games than me, so I'm allowed to talk shit about everyone.
I just feel, you know,
Everyone.
I'm torn by my guilt here. I'm a big F2 fan. I'm a big Lego fan, but I find nothing worth praising them about here. Like, I'm trying to find the bright sides here, but that performance, that is one they should forget about immediately and focus on the next map.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you say they should forget about it, but I mean, I know myself. When you lose the first map of an official, you're just thinking about it, and you're not any more confident for the second map. Even if it's a map you're better on, you're not confident. You're thrown. Your morale's down. You're looking at the other members of your team and thinking, well, they could have done that better, and everyone's doing it, and it's just not a good mumble atmosphere to be in. So I'm not quite sure how this is going to go down. Probably not well for Lego. I'd predict.
I reckon we should take the logs. We'll take a look at the logs, you know, and see is there anything in particular that stands out. Have you got them? I'm looking at them right now, and top 4 in terms of damage, it's all Fenix. Like, it was only a 17-minute map, but you got Cyclus up top putting out 375, and then if you look for Phil, he's down there on 265. He's like 100 damage behind him. That's tough for the players on Phil's team, particularly the scouts, to work with. Like, scouts are best when they're fighting those low health opponents, but
Well,
there's definitely a gap here between the demo men, and of course GF18 was playing out with skin.
Yeah.
That's tough to deal with.
That's 33 frags in 17 minutes. That's not bad at all. With 13 assists, and he scored what, like 110 less damage than his demo? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, Clara with a good game too. He was putting out a lot of important damage, coming in at the right times, and like denying Hellberg's attempts to snipe a couple of times as well. And like, he finishes up most of them, actually, the entire team. When you put it kills and assists per death, it's the top 6 are all from Fenneks, so sort of shows you how one-sided it was. Let's see how it works out in frags. Natural putting out 12 frags. He was top fragger for his team, whereas the bottom fragger on the Fenneks side was Kalari with 11. Well, unless you want to count Skeege, you had 0, but you know, just such a massive gulf in the performances between these two teams on that first map anyway.
Skeege had 3 deaths as well. Skeege and GF18 had 3 deaths and 5 deaths. That means for 2 rounds, GF18 didn't die. At least 2 rounds he didn't die once.
If I can find like one positive to take away from this, I'm looking at the, you know, the overall team stats there, and in terms of the midpoints, it was 6 mids for Fenix and 1 for Lego. So like, Lego have a 100% conversion rate on winning rounds where they capped mid. I'm not even sure if it was a round where they capped mid, but
It wasn't.
I'm gonna give them credit for that.
They won the second mid and lost that round overall.
Look at the frags as well. Like, Fenix actually had double the frags of Lego.
Yeah, well, that is yeah. No, if they'd had 1 more frag, it would have been double. That is that is just the definition of a steamroll. That's what we're casting right now.
I'm gonna make a